don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. All right, the movie Baaghi, Baaghi, I think that's how you spell it. Baaghi. Apparently, there's like 4 of these movies. However, one thing I will say, sure, these actors are basically the children of actors. So there's nepotism apparently involved with their casting, and they don't act that well. That apparently it's one of their earlier films. So there are moments where it's just like, I don't believe this. There is like a love relationship that is very unbelievable because I just can't see these characters connecting. It just doesn't make sense to me. However, what I do like about this movie is it's basically an Indian martial arts film. I don't like how the majority of it, or a lot of it, takes place in Bangkok. Why? I mean, I guess there's that fight club there, and he has to go there. I did love the martial arts of it. It was kind of stupid in some places because it's like they were trying to mimic the raid, and then they gave up on trying to mimic the raid because the girl's kidnapped, and he goes to find the girl. However, she's in the hospital, so he just steals her from the hospital instead of the tower that they have. Only for when they're back in India, she gets kidnapped again, and then he has to go back, and this time they actually copy the raid shot for shot. I had to rewatch the raid because of this movie, because it was just like, yep, it's pretty obvious you're copying this scene from here, this scene from here, this from here. The one thing I did not like is they had a scene where the girl, because they had to show the girl using martial arts as well, where she fights and leaves the penthouse. She meets him down on like the several floors lower, and then it's like, okay, we need to finish this. And then they literally walk back up to the top floor. And it's like, what was the point of her escaping if they were just going to go straight back up there? What purpose did that serve? They just needed to get that weird, cheesy martial arts scene with her in it. And I'm like, you're forcing it a little too much. I enjoyed this movie just for the martial arts. I didn't care for the copying of another movie. I didn't care for the romantic aspect that they put in. It just seemed a little too... It didn't seem real. Kind of like what I saw in Shivai. It didn't feel like there was any romance there. It didn't. I did like how the father was basically this... The father of the girl was this cheapskate, this swindler, this guy who's willing to do anything in order to get whatever he wants. Yeah, so... But it was funny because just like there's this one scene, it's just like, he's still wearing the ring. When are you going to notice the ring? When are you going to notice the ring? When are you going to notice the ring? And it's just like, oh, okay, she finally noticed the ring. Now she knows her father was lying, and now you're going to apologize. When he told you all about what your father had done previously, and you kept saying your father's a good man. You know this guy. You claim to love this man, and then your father says one thing, who you have seen do very questionable acts, and yeah, it's just... The movie jumped all over the place for me, alright? I can't say it's a good movie, but it's a martial arts. So, if you're in the mood for Indian martial arts, I did enjoy that. I did like enjoy... It kind of like the whole... The adopted son is the real child of the... There's a lot of little messages going on here. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm realizing how many things were in this movie, which is why I think it didn't work. There's the cheesy romance, the kidnapping that takes place, the man who falls in... Basically is loved by another man's father, in like a son. Loved like a son by another man's father, and he sees him as a father figure. And then the father is killed off by his actual son. And it's just like, there's the revenge story of that in there as well. There's too much. There's too much. Pick a lane. Please, just pick a lane. And oh my gosh, now that I'm going down the route, I've started to see why I had an issue. It's like, this is why I like the martial arts. Because martial arts are just like, oh, okay, combat. I don't have to focus on the story. And then when you realize the story is all over the place, you know what? Yeah, Baaghi. What'd you guys think of it? If you saw it, or if I'm just talking you out of watching it, because there's just too much going on. There's just too much going on. Yeah, I wish honestly it would have just stayed with the same kind of Snake Eyes type story where it's the two disciples. One of them is the child of the actual sensei, and the other one is the like adopted son. And the adopted son gets further, does better, and is much loved because there's a change in him as the son becomes cold. Yeah, it's just that would have been a better story. You should have just ignored, or the relationship should have been afterthought. It should have been something that's just added on. And the son wants revenge against his stepbrother and basically kidnaps the one woman he loves to make him even more angry. Just something like that, instead of trying to make so many different avenues that now that I think about it, just, you know what? I was going to end this a while ago. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles!